The Columbus City Council meeting for May 20th, 2024 will now come to order. And in compliance with the Open Meeting Act, a current copy of this act is posted in this meeting room. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Bulkley.
Here.
Alarcon.
Here.
Barr.
Here.
Freshour. Hemer.
Here.
Jablonski.
Here.
Lopez.
Here.
Roth.
Here.
Schilling.
Here.
Mayor Bulkley, the roll has been called.
Thank you. Mr. Council President.
Thank you. Our Father, thank you for the opportunity to serve our fellow citizens. Please give us your wisdom and guidance to make the proper decisions entrusted to this governmental body. May our conduct show respect, honor, and courtesy to each other, as well as to all our citizens. Amen.
Amen.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. Welcome, everyone, to tonight's council meeting. If at any time during our meeting this evening, anyone in our audience would like to come forward and discuss any item on our agenda, we'd ask that you please come to the podium, give your name, your address, and we'd ask that you keep any comments to 5 minutes or less. With that, we'll now move on to the consent agenda.
Item 4, consent agenda. The following items are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a City Council member or citizen requests, in which event the item will be removed from consent status and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Item 4A, minutes of the May 6, 2024 City Council meeting. Item 4B, bid from Barcel Landscape Products Incorporated in the amount of $825 per hour for large wood waste grinding at the transfer station. Item 4C, resolution number R24-54, approving addendum number 1 to the Loop River Levee Operations and Maintenance Manual to meet the Federal Emergency Management Agency floodplain map accreditation criteria. Item 4D, resolution number R24-55, authorizing payment of various improvement projects. Item 4E, finance department reports. And item 4F, payroll and bills on file. Mr. Mayor and council members, is there anything you would like removed from consent status?
Mr. Mayor, move that the items on the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Brings us up to public hearings.
Item 7A, public hearing, application of Farracuba LLC, doing business as Farracuba for Class IB liquor license at 1520 17th Street, and Richard Salvador Barredo as the manager.
Is there anyone here this evening to speak against this public hearing? Anyone here to speak for this public hearing?
Mr. Mayor, I move the public hearing be closed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Mr. Mayor, I make a recommendation be made to the Nebraska Liquor Control Commission to approve the application of Fair Cuba for Class IB liquor license and Richard Salvador Barrido as manager.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 7B, public hearing application for Columbus Petroleum LLC doing business as NP Mart 26 for a Class D liquor license at 771 33rd Avenue, and Ann Gordon as the manager.
Is there anyone here to speak against this public hearing? Anyone here to speak for this public hearing? Yes, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. My name is Dave Houghton, 2804 South 87th Ave, Omaha, Nebraska, 68124. I'm here on behalf of, as attorney on behalf of Columbus Petroleum LLC, doing business as NP Mart 26, which will be located on 771 33rd Ave in Columbus here. I'd like to point out to the council that this will be the 23rd location in the state for NP Mart. All of the liquor licenses are in good status. The managing member of Columbus Petroleum wanted me to make sure that I made the council aware that although Ann will be the manager in the interim, once they close on the property, the plan is to get some on-site managers hired as well. If the council members have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Thank you.
Any questions, council? All right.
Move the public hearing be closed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes. Does somebody need to, somebody needs to
Mr.
bring?
Mayor, I move recommendation be made to the Nebraska Liquor Control Commission to approve the application of NP Mart 26 for Class D liquor license and Ann Gordon as manager.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 7C, public hearing application from Williams and Son House Movers Incorporated to move a garage from 3670 26th Avenue to 2625 38th Street and request to exceed the 18-foot height limitation as loaded height of the building will be 20 feet. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
Is there anyone here to speak against this public hearing? Anyone here to speak for this public hearing?
Mr. Mayor, move the public hearing be closed. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
You're welcome to come forward if you'd like. I think you're safe, but you're welcome to come forward.
Kevin Lewandowski, Central Nebraska Storage, and I'm the seller of the garage that you've maybe seen there. It is being sold to my neighbor to the west, so literally it's going to be moved about 4 blocks.
If that.
We don't anticipate any problems. I can answer any questions if you have any.
Any questions for Kevin? Well, appreciate you coming forward.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, move the public hearing be closed.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Go ahead. Mr. Mayor, move the application of Williams and Son House Movers Incorporated to move a garage from 3670 26th Avenue to 2625 38th Street be approved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 7D, this is not a public hearing. The application from Bosselman Pump and Pantry Incorporated, Craig M. Foreman, Benjamin A. Foreman, and JLO Properties LLC for preliminary plat of West Oak First Subdivision. This is the west side of 63rd Avenue, north of Howard Boulevard. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
Mr. Mayor, I move the preliminary plat of West Oak First Subdivision be approved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 7E, public hearing application from Bosselman Pump and Pantry Incorporated, Craig M. Foreman, Benjamin A. Foreman, and JLO Properties LLC for final plat and development agreement of West Oak First Subdivision, west side of 63rd Avenue, north of Howard Boulevard. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
Is there anyone here to speak against this public hearing? Anyone here to speak for this public hearing?
Move the public hearing be closed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 7E1, resolution number R24-56, approving the final plat and development agreement.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of resolution number R24-56.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve Resolution R24-56. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 7F, public hearing application from Convergence LLC for final plat and development agreement of Wishbone's First Subdivision. This public hearing will be continued to the June 3rd, 2024 meeting, so we just need a motion to that effect.
Move the public hearing be continued on June 3rd, 2024 at 6 p.m.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to move this public hearing to June 3rd, 2024 at 6 p.m. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 7G, public hearing application from Columbus Realty Holdings LLC for final plat and development agreement of the Super Saver subdivision, northwest corner of 23rd Street and 33rd Avenue. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
Is there anyone here to speak against this public hearing? Anyone here to speak for this public hearing?
I'm Mark Griffin with Columbus Realty Holdings. My address is 3121 South 169th Plaza in Omaha. And I'm here to speak on behalf of the project. If anyone has any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
Any questions?
Yes. Mr. Griffin, it's very nice to meet you. Thank you.
Pleasure meeting you as well.
I am the nay voter on the preliminary plat, and you and I have had email discussions. I am going to vote nay on this final plat also. I would not do so if I had any doubt that my fellow councilman would not approve the mat. My concern on this whole thing is we've put the cart before the horse. And I am concerned that we have put you and the city in precarious position setting a precedent. Nonetheless, I applaud your new store. Go for it. I wish you continued success.
And we respect your position. Thank you.
For the public's benefit, can you explain the timeline, the schedule, and maybe the sequencing of closing the existing store and moving to the new store?
Yes, I can. We anticipate being operational in the new store early next year, not this year. And that has to do with a couple of issues. First of all, electrical components are difficult to obtain in a short time frame. And Loop Power has some rather significant work to do on site that will cause us to delay the opening until next year. After we're open, after the store is open and operational, is when we'll demolish the old location and turn the location of the old store into additional parking. So we'll have temporary parking for a period of time until such time that we demolish the existing building. So I'm sorry I don't have more firm or concrete dates, but much of the actual opening date depends on our own electrical work on the building and then Loop Power's work, frankly, above the building.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and I know if people haven't, you're kind of stuck back behind the old building, and if people haven't paid any attention, there's a lot of structure sitting there right now with preformed walls that have been brought in and set. So, I mean, I think people will be surprised if they look and they haven't paid any attention in the last couple of weeks of what's there.
I was by the site earlier today, and almost 3/4 of the walls are up. It's the precast wall system is pretty amazing, and it's going gangbusters.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's about all you'll see for a while in terms of the walls until Loop Power gets their work done. Because it has to go over that northeast corner of the building. So we won't be able to erect those walls until they get their work done.
Well, we welcome your expansion in our community, and good luck as you move forward.
Thank you very much. We
Any
love
other-
Columbus.
Any other questions for our guest? All
Sounds
right.
good.
We have a motion and a second to close, to close.
No, we need a
No, we don't
motion.
have a motion, do we?
Mr. Mayor, move the public hearing be closed.
Exactly.
Now we have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 7G1, resolution number R24-57, approving the final plat and development agreement.
I move that resolution number R24-57 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R24-57. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 7H, public hearing application from Keys Real Estate LLC for final plat and development agreement of Harriman Acres subdivision, east side of 48th Avenue, north of Howard Boulevard. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
Is there anyone here to speak against this public hearing? Anyone here to speak for this public hearing?
Mr. Mayor, I move the public hearing be closed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 7H1, resolution number R24-58, approving the final plat and development agreement.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of resolution R24-58.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve resolution number R24-58. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 7I, public hearing, application from Keys Real Estate LLC to rezone property located at 2567 48th Avenue from R2 two-family residential district to R3 multifamily residential district, and to amend the future land use map of the comprehensive plan. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
Is there anyone here to speak against this public hearing? Anyone here to speak for this public hearing? I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move the public hearing be closed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 7I1, ordinance number 24-12, approving the rezoning.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the rules be suspended and ordinance number 24-12 be read by number only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve ordinance number.
Suspend the
Suspend
rules.
the rules and approve ordinance number 24-12. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Ordinance number 24-12.
Mr. Mayor, I move that ordinance number 24-12 be adopted.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 24-12. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 7J, this is not a public hearing. The application from the City of Columbus on behalf of Nels Johnson for a preliminary plat of Vitality Village subdivision north of 8th Street and 7th Avenue. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the preliminary plat of Vitality Village subdivision be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the preliminary plat of Vitality Village subdivision. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 7K, public hearing, application from the City of Columbus on behalf of Nels Johnson for a final plat of Vitality Village subdivision north of 8th Street and 7th Avenue. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
Is there anyone here to speak against this public hearing? Anyone here to speak for this public hearing?
Mr. Mayor, I move the public hearing be closed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 7K1, resolution number R24-59, approving the final plat.
Mr. Mayor, I move that resolution number R24-59 be adopted.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve resolution number R24-59. Any discussion?
Yes, quick question. Later on, we're going to vacate some easements. Should we be vacating those easements before we approve the plat?
Technically, it is happening at the same meeting. It didn't necessarily need to be done before the approval of the final plat. Rick, do you have any?
Yeah, when we go to file in the courthouse, we'll file the vacation of the easements first and the plot second. It's really when it's filed in the courthouse is when it becomes official.
Okay, any other discussion? Yes, seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 7L, public hearing, application from the City of Columbus on behalf of Nels Johnson to rezone property located north of 8th Street and 7th Avenue from R2 two-family residential district to B2 general commercial district, and to amend the future land use map of the comprehensive plan. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
Is there anyone here to speak against this public hearing? Anyone here to speak for this public hearing?
Move the public hearing be closed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 7L1, ordinance number 24-13, approving the rezoning.
Mr. Mayor, move that the rules be suspended and ordinance number 2413 be read by number only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to read ordinance number 24-13 by number only. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Ordinance number 24-13.
Mr. Mayor, move for the adoption of ordinance number 24-13 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 24-13. Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Brings us, we were almost getting to the end of the alphabet there for a minute, I thought.
It's a lot of public hearings.
That brings us up to an update on Nebraska Department of Transportation, 23rd Street Reconstruction Project.
So as you know, construction continues, and, with that, then there have to be additional closures. So right today, 23rd Avenue intersection on the north side there is closed. But what they're hoping to do is have it open another couple days, another few days. What they're trying to do is keep the contractors busy, so they're putting the storm sewer pipe through it, and when they get through, they'll put temporary servicing back on, so it'll be back open. They're just trying to keep things open as much as possible. I think Pershing opened on the north side, I think it was Friday, so that's back open. If you remember, we talked last month, we talked about how they were just a little bit behind schedule. They're actually a little bit further behind schedule now. And some of that has to do, a lot of it has to do with an NDOT decision on some paving revisions, along with some utility conflicts. Once you open up the ground, you find things with utility conflicts. So the contractor is in discussions with the NDOT on how they want to finish this year out a little bit, just to make sure nobody gets caught at the end of the, before winter starts, not having all the lanes back open. So they're in discussions on that right now.
Any questions for Rick? Appreciate
18th Avenue's going to open when?
18th Avenue?
Yeah.
The NDOT sent a press release out last week, and because of these changes and these paving operations and all, they anticipate to be early July.
Okay. Any other comments? Thank you for the update. Moves on to reports of council committees.
Item 10A, Public Property Safety and Works Committee of May 13th, 2024. Item 10A1, request from Bosselman's Pump and Pantry Incorporated, Craig M. Foreman, Benjamin A. Foreman, and JLO Properties LLC to vacate a portion of 63rd Avenue public right-of-way associated with a roundabout, private frontage road, ingress and egress easement, and 2 utility easements within the West Oak addition. This is west of 63rd Avenue, north of Howard Boulevard. The Public Property Safety and Works Committee recommends the request to vacate the right-of-way and easements be approved.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this committee report.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt this committee report. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 10A2, request from the City of Columbus to vacate a portion of 9th Street and Progress Drive and various drainage and utility easements in Vitality Village Addition, north of 8th Street and 7th Avenue. The Public Property Safety and Works Committee recommends the request to vacate the right-of-way and easements be approved.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this committee report.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt this committee report. Any discussion?
We've already given names to the roads out there?
As part of the plating.
Okay.
Any other comments or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes. Brings us up to resolution, comments from the mayor and city council.
New business. Item 13A, comments from the mayor and city council members. In compliance with the Open Meetings Act, no discussion may be held on this item.
Yes, council members, any comments?
Anyone have time?
Yes, sir. Councilman Barr.
With all of you who've sat with me in here for the last 2 years, I've challenged all of you to come down to the Paws and Claws Adoption Center and join in what we call it's Jordan's Way. We'll be back in town. He's been here twice before. He's been in all 50 states. He's raised over $8 million for adoption centers like ours. He will be here on June 5th, starting at 10 in the morning until 1. Out of all the challenges I've offered, I've had Mr. Roth take up on, Mrs. Vasicek, and the mayor. The mayor likes being slapped with tortillas way too much. And Tara looks pretty darn good in whipped cream pie.
My favorite, my grandson's favorite picture is that picture of me getting a pie in the face.
Oh, okay, well, you could be tied for the lead. But anyway, it goes out to all the council members, it goes out to the staff. You come down and participate in one of the shenanigans, and I will make a donation in your name. Chief, that's you and your command back there, and they've been great. The investigators were down. One of those was the one that was slapping him. And
He was really enjoying it too, I gotta tell you.
and I will get a hold of Chief Gray and make sure that he knows what's going on.
Yeah.
So
When is it again, June 5th?
it is June 5th. It is from 10 a.m. to 1. So it's a great time, and hopefully we can raise some much-needed money for them.
And it all goes for a good cause and good camaraderie
Yeah,
between
yeah.
everyone. Anyone else have a comment? I had a couple of items this evening, mainly just to remind the public. Thursday night, here in our community room, will be an open discussion forum on the potential ideas and things for Memorial Stadium and Pawnee Park. So I just want to remind the public that that's going on. They're invited to come up and take part in that process. I also wanted to just remind the public that we are doing another coffee morning brew this Saturday. Weather permitting, we actually will be in Frankfurt Square in the corner at the picnic tables while the farmers market's going on. That will be attended by Councilman Roth, Barr, City Clerk Sharaya Frondorfer, and myself, and Matt Lindberg. So we'd invite anyone down to come have a cup of coffee with us and bring any of your questions and any of your concerns. All right, we'll move on to resolutions.
Item 14A, resolution number R24-60, awarding the contract to Watts Electric Company in the amount of $932,147.58 for the Lost Creek Parkway Traffic Signals 2024.
Mr. Mayor, I move resolution number R24-60 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R24-60. Any discussion?
Kind of get an update on what the timeline looks like for that?
So, as was discussed earlier in the meeting, electrical is always an issue getting everything that you need. So, they won't be ready to start doing anything until October of this year. And then they'd be substantially completed in the spring of next year. It's basically materials.
Thanks, Rick.
Appreciate it. Any other comments? Good to see that it's getting approved and moving, well, I assume getting approved and moving forward.
Matter of interest, the corner at the Parkway and 48th Avenue, how many accidents have we had at that corner since, up to this point in time? You got any idea?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but we can certainly look into it and send you that information.
This is a good thing. We need
Oh, yeah.
to get
No,
this done, and
There's nobody will argue
glad
that.
that we are progressing. Thank you.
Yeah. Very good. All right, we have a motion and a second to adopt resolution R24-60. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 14B, Resolution number R24-61, awarding the contract to Gearing Construction and Ready Mix Company Incorporated in the amount of $2,115,811 for paving and infrastructure of Vitality Village subdivision and the Community Building South parking lot.
Mr. Mayor, I move that resolution number R24-61 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R24-61. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. The motion passes.
Item 14C, resolution number R24-62, adopting the park maintenance standard operating procedure. The Board of Parks Commissioners recommends approval.
And who has this?
Mr. Roth.
Mr. Roth?
Mr. Roth?
You with us?
Councilman Roth, you have this resolution?
Is it my resolution?
Yes, sir.
Oh. I have lost my place. Where are we?
14C.
14C? Oh. Mr. Mayor, I move that resolution number R2462 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R24-62. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes. Brings us up to ordinances on their first reading.
Item 15A, ordinance number 24-14, vacating a portion of 63rd Avenue right-of-way, private frontage, road ingress and egress easement, and 2 utility easements within the West Oak addition. This is west of 63rd Avenue, north of Howard Boulevard.
Mr. Mayor, I move the rules be suspended and ordinance number 24-14 be read by number only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules and read ordinance number 24-15 by number only. Any discussion?
24-14.
24-14, thank you for the correction. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay.
It's freezing. Let's try again.
Vote twice, I guess.
You know, it's this new help we get every once in a while. There we go.
There we go.
Just kidding.
Motion passed.
Motion passed.
Ordinance number 24-14.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of ordinance number 24-14.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 24-14. Any discussion?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Are we going to have to go through 3 readings on this?
No,
No.
that's, we just
We
suspended
just
the rules.
suspended the rules to do this. All right, any other?
We suspended the rules to read by number only.
And then
Right.
adopt the
Then we-
ordinance.
Then we adopt the ordinance.
That was the motion I just made to adopt.
All right.
We suspended the rules and then we made the motion to adopt the motion.
Are you good?
Okay.
Okay. All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 15B, ordinance number 24-15, vacating a portion of 9th Street and Progress Drive and various drainage and utility easements within Vitality Village addition. This is north of 8th Street and 7th Avenue.
Mr. Mayor, I move the rules be suspended and ordinance number 24-15 be read by number only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules and read ordinance number 24-15 by number only. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Ordinance number 24-15.
Mr. Mayor, move for the adoption of ordinance number 24-15.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 24-15. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Brings us up to ordinances on their third reading.
Item 17A, ordinance number 24-10, approving the text amendments to the Columbus Land Development Ordinance.
Mr. Mayor, I move that ordinance number 24-10 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 24-10. Any discussion? I would ask, Tara, if you had anyone ask for any particulars. I know on the first reading, we had a gentleman here with a question or two, and we heard nothing on second reading and nothing on, here we are on third reading. So did we have any follow-up?
We didn't have any other that I'm aware of from the public. We internally made a couple of changes, and you can see those in the memos.
I was thinking more from the
between,
public,
but
yeah.
no.
Yeah, okay,
Did you? No.
all right. Awesome, that's very good. All right, appreciate it. So we have a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 24-10. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes, meeting adjourned.